guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are playing with throwback makeup. I thought this would be really fun because I know that I have makeup in my drawer that like oldies but goodies, not like old, like really expired, but just like things that came out a really long time ago, and you kind of were always trying the new things and all that good stuff. And I talk so much on the channel about how I think it's so important to really appreciate what we have. And so I thought this would be like a appreciation throwback makeup day. So I've got this like whole bin of stuff that I have loved for so long that I want to use in like one video, one tutorial today. So let's go ahead and get started. For throwing it back purposes today, I'm going to use a BB cream as a primer. So this is something that I do a lot in the summers, especially because it has SPF 21. SPF 21, that's such a very specific number, right? But this is the CoverGirl CG Smoothers BB Cream, tinted moisturizer and sunscreen in 810 light to medium. And I'm just gonna apply this with my fingers. This used to be like one of my all-time favorite products, and I still love it. I mean, it's why I repurchase it and keep it. It just has like a moisturizer. What's the word I'm looking for? Consistency? There we go. And I just like to use it as my primer, as my base. It's like my sunscreen. And in the summer, I always like to put sunscreen on. And I don't buy a lot of foundations that have sunscreen because of the flashback and things. And so I really like to use this as a base. So throwing it back to that. And then for our foundation today, we are going to take NARS Sheer Glow in Santa Fe. You guys know I just tried out the NARS Radiant Longwear foundation, which I'm really loving. And that's also in the shade Santa Fe. That's a really good match for me. So the only thing with the Sheer Glow, and I think they might have new packaging with a pump now, but mine is an older formula. Wait a minute, has this had a pump all along? No. Do you see the foundation all over my shirt right now? No, it has not had a pump, and I just wrecked it. Okay, so we just had a wardrobe change because we just had a major foundation melt-on moment. I got it everywhere. It exploded. We cleaned it off. Now we're okay. But no, this does not have a pump. This is the old packaging. Or maybe it's the same packaging. I don't know if it has a pump now or not. Or if people just started buying a pump for it. But the easiest way to apply this is like putting it on your hand. Or I'm using my glass palette and a beauty blender. Okay, I'm still recovering from that moment there. That was not great. Not how I thought the beginning of this was gonna go. Do you guys see that like pimple on my neck? I'm getting this interesting pregnancy acne. I don't even know. I mean, it's not like terrible, but it's like on my chest, and I've never had like chest or back breakouts in my life, so that's what's weird. Okay, this is like a medium coverage foundation that can be light if you want really light coverage. But we're gonna really do medium today. And I do think this is a little lighter. I know it's like the same color as the NARS Radiant Longwear, the new foundation, but I just think that this is a little bit lighter than that foundation. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Looks good, like medium coverage. Guys, I got foundation in my hair when it exploded. For real. Okay. So, for under the eyes, we're going to use one of my old favorites, although it's not like insanely old, it's just a little bit older. Like it came out a little while ago. This is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I'm just going to take my finger, and you only need like a little bit of this under each eye, and I really just use my finger to melt that in because I just don't like to use my beauty blender. Do you see how just like brightening that is under the eye? It really does what it says it's supposed to do. This is a really beautiful product. It's just like, can you guys see how brightening that is? If you have dark circles, I highly, highly, highly recommend this. And then the concealer we're going to use today is an old favorite. This is the Physicians Formula Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer. And I know I've used this kind of recently. I don't have like a bunch of concealers. And I've recently finished a couple of my older favorites, like NARS Radiant Creamy. Like that's an OG fave. And I just take a little bit of this concealer at a time because it is thick and you don't need a lot. And just be really gentle with the tapping. And then I'm gonna just put a little on the tip of my nose here just for a little extra coverage. Then around my nose, I got some redness there. Little on my chin. And then a little right up here. And we aren't gonna bake. We're just gonna kind of let that sit, and then we'll set our whole face here in a little bit. For my, whatchamacallit, brows, I'm gonna use an old favorite. This is, I'm gonna use a combination of MAC, okay, probably Wedge, Cork, and Saddle. This was, I used to use Wedge a lot with a little bit of Cork. So, and maybe Saddle. We're just gonna see. Saddle's like a little bit darker than Wedge. I think I am gonna use Wedge and Saddle. Cork's like a little red for me. If I have to, I can use a little bit of Mystery, which I think I might have to use, but let's take more of Cork. Oh no, wait, I'm thinking of the wrong one. Cork's down here, Saddle's up here. So I'm using Cork and Wedge. And I'm gonna take a little bit of Mystery just for the couple bald spots that I have to get the outline in. But you guys, Wedge and Cork, that's how I did my brows forever and ever. Seriously. I can even tell you that Tanya Burr, Pixie 2 Woo, is the one that really turned me on to using that combination, and it works so well for my brows. And I didn't ever have to get another brow product. Like, I'd always just used my MAC palettes. Okay, so brows are done, and I do think that I want to go ahead and set the face. I'm just gonna take like a really big powder brush. This is one of the e.l.f. brushes, 101, and Oldie but Goodie, my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish, and MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Natural in light medium. You guys have seen me use this quite a few times, but I used to use this like so much back in the day. I'm gonna put this over my eyes too, to use as kind of like our eyeshadow base. This is just like a really nice light powder, which is a big reason why I really enjoy it too. Now we're gonna move on to eyes. I'm going to take this Morphe R39, and I'm gonna take a little bit of Wedge, and we're gonna use that as our transition shade. So I'm just gonna put this in the outer third, brushing it in, halfway in, and then taking it in the crease. We're really gonna do, like, we're gonna use one MAC eyeshadow, and our look is gonna be like amazing, you guys. I'm doing like an old school favorite look, and so I'd use like Wedge or Cork or Saddle. Usually Wedge or Cork though in the crease. And then we're gonna pull out this one shadow, and it is a one shadow wonder, this look. It is seriously amazing. The shadow is my favorite MAC shadow of all time, and I think everybody, seriously everybody who has ever used this shadow would agree. It's amazing, and it's amazing on every single person. Do you guys know what it is yet? Do ya? Yeah, I just did this look the other day. It is MAC Woodwinked, and it is the only MAC shadow I own that has gotten panned right here. This color legitimately looks beautiful on every single person. Like, there are no exceptions. It looks good on everyone, and it's amazing. So, we're gonna go into Woodwink. I'm just swirling a MAC 217 brush, and I'm gonna start in the middle. Oh my gosh, it's just, it's gorgeous. It is so metallic, it's so shimmery. You do not have to use your finger, and it looks like slightly different on everyone. So once I deposit the color on the lid, I really I come in the outer third and I brush it gently and very low, like in the crease, so next to the lid. But it literally turns like a different color. It's like metallic on the lid, and it gets like more transition-y. I don't know how they do it. This is the best eyeshadow ever of all time. Ever. Like, ever. Nobody could convince me that this is not the best eyeshadow. And it's not even the best eyeshadow because it's like the most metallic, or it's the smoothest, or it's the easiest to blend. It's the best eyeshadow because you can do a one eyeshadow look with it, which makes it pretty affordable. And also, it looks good on every single skin tone. That's what's truly mind-blowing about Woodwinked. And just because I want to add a little touch of glam, because why not? I want to use another old favorite. We're going to take one of my favorite Dior eyeshadows. This is a single. And I think they pretty much sell like everything I'm using here, by the way. I think they still sell a lot of this, but I don't think they still sell this, but I'm not sure. This was back when I worked for Dior. This is the Ultra Smooth High Impact Eyeshadow in 616 Golden Spotlight, but any really glittery metallic shadow will work. I'm just going to rub my finger in it and pat off excess on the back of my hand, and then put this right in the middle. And I'm just like patting it on. What? Can you guys see that right now? Just ultimate. It just doesn't get better. This is perfect too, because I'm going on a date to the movies tonight with my hubby. Woodwinked is amazing, and then with this on top, oh girl, look at that glam. Oh, I love it so much. To line our eyes, we're not going to use liner. We're going to take, wait, not that palette, my second MAC Neutrals palette, and we're going to take a little bit of Mystery and our MAC brush that we use for our eyebrows, which is somewhere in here now that I've lost it. And we're going to go into Mulch, and we're going to just get really as close to the lash line as we can and push it in there just to make the lashes look a little thicker, but not make it look like a line. Like as close to the lashes as you can get. Best trick ever. Alright, I'm going to take a powder brush and just brush away the extra glitter that kind of dotted down from that Dior eyeshadow. And then we're going to go back into this Neutrals palette, and I'm going to take a smaller brush. This one here. This is a BWM Tools 781, and I'm going to take a combination of Wedge and Saddle. And I'm going to put this under the lower lash line. Just blend it out so that it kind of ties back in and just adds a little bit more depth. Okay, I feel like for old time's sake, we do need some waterline liner. Now, if I were to use the one that was like my old school throwback favorite, I'd be using Stila Smudge Stick in Stingray, but I only have a couple, and so I'm going to use Marc Jacobs because I decluttered a bunch. This is just the black one, and I'm just going to put this in my waterline, almost to the inner corner, but not quite in the inner corner. I'm not actually going to put this in my tight line, just my waterline. And then we're going to add mascara. Oldie but Goodie, the only one I have is my Too Faced Better Than Sex, which is fine. This came out a long time ago, and it is really a throwback favorite because it is not like my top favorite anymore, but it's still a good mascara. I feel like I have to do this so my mascara will dry faster because it always gets everywhere and I hate it so much. Plus this is just nice because the porch is really warm. Now we are going to do a little bit of contouring. We are really throwing it back with this, you guys. I'm so excited. I could just like pee my pants. I won't, I promise. We are going to use MAC Harmony. I just talked about this in a video recently that I said something about like, oh, I think it was Benefit Hula reminded me of MAC Harmony. That's what it was. So MAC Harmony, this was like my old school, another like Tanya Burr, Pixie Woo Sisters, love this. And so I'm taking a MAC 109. I think it's a 109. The number is really rubbed off though. And I'm going to, can you guys see that? This is, do you see how pretty that is? This is seriously like the best, still, OG. My OG was, this is the best contour for my skin tone. It truly is. So I'm just doing a little, not a ton. We're still going to go in with a bronzer. But do you see how stinking pretty this is? Oh my goodness gracious. We'll go with one of my old favorite bronzing brushes. This is a MAC 137, I think, 187. I'm going to go with my Jane Bronzer in Dream, just an OG fave from years ago, but I love it so much. It's like the perfect shade, and I talked about this in my Full Drugstore Glam, I think it was that video. It's just a really foolproof bronzer. I hope they still sell it, and I would highly recommend this bronzer. You cannot mess it up. It blends effortlessly. Even if you use too much, it builds so freaking nicely. It just is like stunning. I have like this issue though where I don't know when to stop bronzing. It's probably right now, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I really wanted to use MAC Well Dressed, which looks like this for my blush, but it just doesn't go with this look. So that was one of my like really intense favorites. So I'm gonna go with my first blush I ever bought from MAC, which this isn't that one, but this is Gingerly, and it goes perfectly with this look. And so I'm gonna take a little blush brush, this one here, and just kind of swirl in. It's like a taupey, I don't know, it's like a reddish brown. It's like a bronzer blush. You guys see though how pretty? This is like, oh my gosh, I need to be using this more. Especially in the summer. It's like peachy, coral, browny, bronzy. Do you see how pretty? I love this blush so much. Love it. And then I'm just going to take my Beauty Blender. You guys know how I do. And I just pat around the edges. And the highlighter that we're going to use today is another OG fave from when I worked at Dior. This is Dior Amber Diamond highlighter. And I just kind of swirl my fan brush in all of them. And oh yes, oh yeah. It's just really pretty and just wet looking. This is like one of the OG favorites for, I feel like, so many YouTubers. This, I'm sorry to say, they don't sell anymore, but I feel like you guys don't have problems finding highlights. There's so many good highlights. So I thought I could use this because it's a throwback for me and I still own it. And our last step is lips. Yeet. We have 3 lip products that we're going to use. I would use like MAC Sublime or MAC Subculture lip pencil, but I don't have those. I decluttered them, so I'm going to use Kylie Jenner Harmony because it's just like good nude lip liner for me. Well, it's a nude pink. You'll see where we're going with this though. So I lined, and instead of like fully filling them in, I'm going to take my finger and just smudge out the lip liner, just so it's not as harsh. And then we're going to go in with a nude lipstick. We're going to take 2 lipsticks. The first one is MAC Modesty. This was like one of my all-time favorite MAC lipsticks. The MAC cream shade formulas like look wet. They look like a gloss. And I want it to be a little bit more nude, so I'm going to take Lime Crime Coquette. Such a good nude. Put that in the center. Pat out the edges a little. And that is our finished lip look. I need to use a setting spray, and I really want to use MAC Fix Plus, which I have here, but there's so little left. Let's see if I can get a few squirts. Okay, I got a few. I love the way Fix Plus smells. Like, you're an OG MAC girl. Fix Plus, that's where it's at. So this is the finished throwback makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, seeing some of my favorites from years ago, just things that maybe we haven't used or looked at in a while, and that you enjoyed this look. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more throwback looks, I do have like a few palettes and things in mind that I really wanted to use, but I could only pick so many products. So I picked these for this one, but I could definitely do more if you guys want to see it. So I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah!